Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. And it seems that there's been some problems with Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I am a great advocate for Baldur's Gate 3. I have played the game quite a bit, quite a few hours into it. I didn't finish it. I have willing to finish it with friends. I guess I will be finishing it with one other friend because the other one is not very fond of me, I guess, currently, for whatever reason. But I won't even get into that. What I'm going to say is that I have played Baldur's Gate 3, and I have seen quite a few times where a Nexus Mods has decided to remove a certain mod because it didn't correlate with their values, which is kind of disgusting in my opinion. But this one is probably even more egregious, and we have this here. Nexus Mod removes Baldur's Gate 3 Dame Aylin gender swap mod because it erased a character's original lesbian romance. We are for inclusivity, we are for diversity. Right. And I will be reading you a thing that would be shown by this young individual, which happens to be a lady, and they don't really care. And once again, throwing their hat into the social political fray, Nexus Mods has announced that a user who uploaded a gender-swapping mod for Baldur's Gate 3, Dame Aylin, has received a lifetime ban and had their work removed after the site's administration found said mod to be anti-ethical to their operated principles of diversity and inclusivity. Here's what I would love to do, is that I would like to get money one day. And there's a lot of things that I want to do. I want to make my my manga. I want to make this actual YouTube thing be prosperous and have enough to do what I want to do. And then I also want to be able to, whenever I see stuff like this, make it ability to fight against companies like this. I would call myself probably the truth mods. We'll just put it that way. Or freedom mods, or whatever, something stupid, right? But this would be, I wouldn't care who put in what, or what have you, because they would have the freedom to do so whatever they chose like. This would be a competition to Nexus Mods, because it would probably have the same and very similar things to what Nexus Mods has, but, of course, it would come with the freedom of you putting whatever the hell you want into it. Now, obviously, there are probably some guidelines, like, obviously, maybe not, child stuff has to do a lot with children, being exposed, nudity and stuff like that, probably some of the basics of that stuff, just that. The extremes that normal human beings most likely wouldn't do on a daily basis, like that stuff probably wouldn't be allowed, but everything else would be free game, and especially stuff like this. First uploaded to the site on December 3rd by now the band user Yedlike. The mod at the center of Nexus Mods' latest controversy, Sir Aylin presented players with a reimagining of the recently released Larian Studios titles Find the Night Song questline centering around the titular Aasimar warrior. In the quest's original presentation, the player finds themselves hired to track down the titular Night Song, an ancient relic supposedly searching with an appropriately awesome power over the concepts of life and death. However, through the course of the adventure, it is eventually discovered that the Night Song is not an object, but rather Dame Aylin, a member of the angelic Aasimar race, who has been imprisoned by the villainous Sword Coast cult leader Ketheric Thorn in order to allow him to forcibly sap and share her genetically gifted immortality. So, yes, and this is something that this was going on here, and what have you. And we're not going to go into the depths because I don't really want to do too many spoilers here. I will be putting a spoiler warning probably in the video so that you guys don't actually see the issue, so you don't get spoiled for this. However, should players choose to voluntarily download and install the Sir Aylin mod rather than the original Dame incarnation of the heroine, they will instead fight to save Sir Aylin, a slightly more polite and male version of Dame Aylin, part of a larger no-alphabet mod pack which aims to ensure that the gender and sexuality of world NPCs much medieval status quo, yet like explained of Sir Aylin. This mod gives you a fully immersive male version of Dame Aylin, portraits, subtitles, voice, and how other characters respond to this Sir Aylin have been altered to match. Closing out the description by taking a brief aside to praise Larian Studios' original presentation, the modder urged users, Helen Kelly's performance was really good, so I do recommend you to experience the performance unmodded if you haven't already. Which is everybody's choice. They can do so if they want to. However, just hours after the mod was uploaded to Nexus Mods, and after a post on the unofficial Baldur's Gate subreddit accused that Sir Aylin was not about realism and is actually just about the developers of the No Alphabet Pack's hatred of queer people, and went semi-viral. The site announced that the Yedlike has been banned from Nexus Mods for violating for community rules. This appears to be a throwaway account created to upload a mod that attempts to skirt our community guidelines. Explain the site's emanation of their decision. The mod in question appears to reduce diversity in Baldur's Gate 3 by taking a same-sex couple and swapping the gender of one of the parents to make them heterosexual. Okay. This is not where I find an issue with this. Because the thing is that I don't see an issue with this at all. Because you're just swapping it. It's not an insult to anybody, but of course, they're stupid. The site then repeated the mantra, we are for inclusivity, we are for diversity, and if we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent to deliberately be against inclusivity and our diversity, then we will take action against it. The same goes for people attempting to troll other users with mods deliberately to cause a rise. We aren't the authority on what users can and cannot mod. Well, you literally are, because you are saying that they cannot have this type of mod, and you are being the authority by banning it or removing it. That's your authority. So you're already lying here. They ultimately concluded us removing a mod only means it cannot be found at Nexus Mods. Nothing more, nothing less. As a private business, we have a right to choose what content we do and do not want to host on our platform. Respect this the same way you want to respect for your rights. Exactly, except the problem is that your site is the most biggest traffic site possible. So that being said, a lot of people are going to go to it. So we're going to go to here, right? We're going to go to see what this actually does. This is going to be a very small clip, but I want you guys to see the full effect of what this does.
This is Aylin. Aylin, this is...
Oh, but we have met. This is the soldier that freed me most valiantly from the Shadowfell. They watched my boot crush the very brain of villainy, and fought well against your changed father.
May he rest in peace at last, now that he's dead. I have more to thank you for than I knew, and we have much to discuss. Perhaps we could join you in your camp later? We look forward to it.
You there, Sharon. By the fires of your camp's hearth, we will discuss all we must.
I'll be ready. Whatever you have to say had better be worth your life.
Now, you must excuse us. We must take succor in one another's bodies and words.
Hilarious, right? Funny. It's not... I don't see an issue to this. This doesn't hurt anything. And then, of course, we have with, IGN saying that Baldur's Gate mod that made a fan-favorite lesbian romance heterosexual removed after backlash. And it says, in a post explaining the ban, Nexus Mods said that the mod violated the site's community rules by appearing to reduce diversity in Baldur's Gate 3 by taking a same-sex couple and swapping the gender of one of the partners to make them heterosexual. The post continues, we're inclusivity, blah, 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 and this is what happens. So... we're going to go over to here, right? This is from Tim Pool, from the Timcast stuff, so you do as you will. But this is from Yedlike, and this is the post that she made. I will most likely have to blow this up for everybody. But it says, hi Timcast, thank you for sharing my video, and I'm happy to see you enjoying my mod. I made a video statement revealing the truth of the situation. I'd like to clarify that I'm in fact a brown Muslim woman. I'm disgusted that I even have to mention this. I agree with you as well. So imagine my reaction when they branded me a white male supremacist. I created the Sir Aylin mod along with a few other members of the modding community. My motivation for creating this mod is, 1. I have a massive crush on the male Guardian voice and miss him a lot in Act 3. So having him show up as a knight in shining armor was very appealing to me. 2. To not add remove options to the game, including the ability to have a male representing Aylin with a female voice and vice versa. You'll see the files are divided up specifically to allow for this. 3. Finally, I also plan to follow this up with a male Isabel mod. However, after this backlash, I no longer feel safe to do so. I would understand why you wouldn't. My mod is purely a gender bend mod, nothing more, nothing less, as you said. You can see here what was included in the mod front of this archive in Nexus mod page. I am saddened to see how things have turned out, and my accusations being slung around by hateful reactionary groups on sites such as Reddit that jumped to conclusions and immediately resorted to hateful attacks. I am disappointed by the mainstream gaming media who have been publishing stories purely based on allegations of a single angry troll. I'm disgusted to see how a popular website like Nexus Mods moderates its content based solely on mass reports from Reddit trolls without investigating the mod's content or any attempt to communicate with the mod's author. Exactly. Because they shoot at the hip fire and they don't care. I am disgusted to see how the popular website, so it goes on to say, I find it quite ironic that aside from the dog, the site and the program to be all about diversity and inclusion seem to have none among its own employees. See for yourselves. Modding is inherently a good and creative endeavor. It is important for people to be able to tailor their gaming experiences to what they enjoy. I think we'll have to learn from this. Exactly. And this is from Yedlike. And I 100% agree with this person. I find it abhorrent that they would want to remove something like this, and it does nothing to harm the character or anything of the sort. It just switches it. And the same thing where I don't really agree with transgender ideology and stuff like that, I am not going to prevent somebody from wanting to change something to what they deem is okay, because I don't think it's actually hurting people. However, what I do find a problem is that they go after people for changing something that is just completely absurd. I do not like this. And this is something that I will probably not be using Nexus Mods or something of the sort, because it's disgusting. Because they don't really agree, because we didn't remove it. It's like, no, because you moved from the most popular site that does this type of stuff, so yes, you are removing it. I don't see why anybody would want to use your site, but I digress. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. This is algorithmic disease, the social media.